Mrparka
and Average Joe.
And the movie we will be reviewing today is My Stepdad's a Freaking Vampire.
Freaking, because this movie is pretty PG.
Yeah, we didn't know. I didn't see a rating on here, so I didn't really know what to expect. I was like, maybe it's unrated, but it's probably unrated because they never submitted it to the board because that costs money. But it's definitely a PG-13 oriented. There's no real language. Maybe shit and hell and damn and
shit
stuff.
One time.
Yeah,
there's noted down.
There's not really any. There's no nudity, no sex, so we didn't really know what to expect. We popped it in. It's more of like a teeny kids movie. I'd say like ages like 12 to like 15 might get a kick out of it. It would play maybe on like Nickelodeon or something like that.
No kids I know, but you know.
Nowadays, maybe when we were kids, it would have a little more effect. But basically what we have here is a kind of a kid who is a troublemaker, and he finds out that his stepdad is a frickin' vampire. Of course, no one believes him. He tries to get the help of his friend, and he ends up wandering on and finding out that there's some old family heirloom he has that his vampire stepdad wants. He gets help from the janitor, who looks exactly like Alexander Emelianenko, aka Fedor's brother, and that's pretty much the gist of the movie. It is terrible.
The janitor was actually probably one of the only two good actors in the movie, which is the stepdad, the vampire dad, and then the janitor guy. I think he says the janitor guy's the best.
I don't know. They're about the same. Yeah,
I'm thinking the dad was the best, especially I think towards the end of the movie he kind of pulled out some good cards,
some cheasiness, and that was fun.
It almost made the movie a little bit. That might even be stretching it there, but like if there would have been more of the end of the movie, like the antics that went on.
Yeah, like if the last 20 minutes was the whole movie.
Yeah.
I mean, all right. The problem is this movie is it's drug out. Like
very
the shots
drug
are drug out, and it just seems like you're watching a movie that takes forever. But
the editing and the directing are the two things that were probably the worst for this movie. The acting wasn't even bad.
It's not a bad looking movie either.
It's not a bad looking movie. Some of the CG scenes were pretty cool. The makeup got real cool at some scenes.
The gargoyle type vampires.
Gargoyle type vampires were pretty badass.
Yes! Oh, welcome! Welcome! Oh, it's been so long! I hope you're hungry.
The end.
It's just there was a lot of. They needed to cut the fat. This movie needed to be tightened.
Oh yeah,
like a lot. They could have knocked off at least a good 20 minutes on this movie of unnecessary just space fill. Somebody opening up the door, like it shows 5 seconds of the door before they open it. Then they open up the door, open up, stands there for a second. The door slowly closes shut. They look around, they wipe their nose, they're looking, and I'm like, we don't need all that scene in the movie. And that goes on throughout the whole movie with every scene. So if they would have tightened up all that, throughout the whole movie, knocked off about 20 minutes of empty space, it would have been good. It would have been good.
Well, I mean, this movie could have been really fun. It could have been kind of like a Monster Squad modern day, or even like a Midnight Hour with all the monsters raising from the grave, or even Dance Hall of the Dead. But those movies are all exceptionally great, I think, for what they are. This movie, I just thought that, I don't know, I was bored, and that's the #1 problem with me. A movie can be a piece of crap and not really a great movie, but if it entertains you, it did its job successfully to a way. This movie bored me. There was points
I was pretty bored.
In here that could have been great. Like I said, if this movie had been like tightened by 20 minutes shorter, the end 20 minutes would have been elongated. They would have had more like cheesy one-liners, more things like that. Could have been a lot more fun. It just seemed like it didn't really go
wasn't-
anywhere,
it
and I
wasn't-
didn't care.
It was too slow, and it wasn't quick enough to catch you into stuff. There was too much idle time for you to space out. I caught myself playing with my phone, like flipping it, not even using my phone, just throwing it in the air and catching it. Just sitting there, I'm like, this was more fun than the movie. I'm tossing my phone and juggling it, diddling with my keys the whole time. Like, if it would have been tighter, if it would have got to the point of all the scenes faster, I would have been more drawn in. But I didn't get drawn in, and I'm not really happy with the outcome of the movie. I mean, like I said, the movie looks like it was put together well, other than the editing and directing. Like the CG was cool. They pulled actors together. They made a movie. I just was bored watching it.
It's not even close to one of the worst movies. It's not close to the worst movie I've ever seen. It's not
no.
even close. But the problem is, I won't remember it. It's boring. Which is, it's not even, it's just, it could have been great. There's some moments that are really fun in here. Like the janitor, they toss a cigarette out of the window and the janitor picks up the cigarette and starts smoking it. That's funny. And then there's a couple moments where the vampire eats the keys, and he's like, keys. So they're just...
Shit. Looking for these? Yeah, I kind of need those. Keys.
It's corny and funny, and I wish the whole movie would have been like that. And the layout, the makeup for the vampires at the end was great. I was like, wow! When I saw those, I was like, I wish this would have happened 20 minutes sooner, but it didn't. And by the time all the great stuff happened, it was too late. They had already lost me. So I don't really know what I'd say. Like I'd say it's probably like a...
I think I got lost a lot earlier in the movie. I mean, a lot of the plot really unveiled in my head really quickly. I got all the hidden twists and turns like 20 minutes before they popped out with them. And
what were those?
Like, if there was any, like, you know, like with the dad's situation with him being the vampire and like I don't know, that was really, there wasn't really any good twists and turns. And if there was any, that it was too, I don't know, it wasn't, I don't know. I don't know what I was getting at, but it's just not that good. I'm trying to be nice to the movie, but I really should just say that I didn't enjoy it and I didn't like it.
This might be something for kids. I think kids might enjoy it. Like
I think my last 5 reviews, I keep doing this with movies. Like I even said this when I was in my last review. I'm like, I tend to be too nice. Like I feel bad when I'm saying, I should just be honest. And I didn't enjoy it. There's nothing really.
Yeah, I didn't care for it that much. I didn't like the main characters. What was that guy? Chuck was okay, and
you said he was a poor man's.
No, Justin Long.
Justin Long.
The main guy was a poor man's Justin Long, but the character Chuck, who kind of plays this dumb kind of guy, he's okay. And I like the kid that they don't like, the friend that they really don't like that hangs around. He's all right. I thought he was decent, and like the janitor and the mom. I guess just I didn't really care for the two main characters. I don't know. He kind of had that vibe, that like kind of a push your buttons vibe. Even I know maybe he's supposed to do that, but I just was like, eh. I mean, like I said, this is not the worst movie I've ever seen at all. I just mean it got started too late, and like I said, the worst thing you can do is bore someone.
I was pretty bored.
But that is our review for My Stepdad's a Freakin' Vampire. How many stars out of 10 would you give it?
Without being mean.
With being truthful.
Being truthful, I'm going to say about a 3.5 at best.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
But it had potential. I mean, the
If
directors could
tightened
obviously make something else. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, if this movie was re-edited and rewatched by someone else, tightened up, a lot of the fat was cut out, I guarantee this would jump to probably like a 6 or a 7 easy.
Yeah, because I mean, they had a good amount
and
of
maybe
gore
some
in there,
more antics, just toss something in funny.
Maybe another different monster in there. But
yeah.
I think that, they obviously worked well with their budget, because I think the movie is low budget and they used their digital effects and they had some splatter at the end that was fun. But I really see this missing its target audience at the same time. I think this would pertain more to like 8 to like 14-year-olds. But I'm Mrparka.
Average Joe. I'm getting kind of tired of trying to bust this out. I keep saying I'm going to practice it, but I never do. Yes. There we go.
Sounded like a 1997 Sprite
I was
commercial.
going for like a little porn feel, like background film score.
Yeah! we go. Yeah.